Hey, Pluto subscribers. I've been trying to figure out how to get this idea shown to you. What we're talking about is catch lights. You might see it here in the video. I'm not going to be able to see it well enough as I record it, or maybe the editor, my editor and wife as she calls herself, will be able to see it and point it out. Catch light, and it'll probably actually look better in the video if she can catch a frame to show you, but the catch light is usually a portraiture that there is something caught in the person's eye that makes them look alive. It kind of gives a spark to their appearance. The catch light is, I got a couple pictures before I started this video, so I'll show that to you. I'm being very dramatic, I'm not smiling, but I'm looking directly into the sun, and I'm trying to look in a direction that is aesthetically pleasing or styled properly for the camera's perspective, but not looking into the sun to hurt my eyes, as well as looking in a direction that the camera will be able to see from my eyes reflecting the sun. That's what the catch light is. So if you're using lights in a studio with, such as a camera hot shoe flash, if you have one of those professional cameras, or maybe even a point and shoot, I think they call them amateur pro lines from camera or Canon, Nikon, Panasonic. A lot of those manufacturers have that type of attachment on top, where if you have a camera that just pops the lens up above, or sorry, pops the lens, I hope not, pops that flash up above your lens. I don't recommend shooting with those. Now, there are some ways you can adapt them, and we've talked about different types of lighting. One of those is diffused lighting. You can buy diffusers for that flash right above the lens of your camera and play around with it. I haven't really been able to use it effectively. That's me. Some other people have had some really great shots from using those, and they've learned to do something that I just don't take the time to do. So, all that being said, when you have a catch light in your photograph, it can really set off the look of that photograph. So play around with it, try and use it. If you're using studio strobes or a flash, take some time to figure out where that light, if it's going to be reflected in what you're shooting, where it looks best. For instance, right now, you could probably, I can just barely catch it. Okay, you can see reflected in the side of my eye, just around that side of my iris, the colored part of my eye, you can see a little bit of the sun. Now, it's a little bit hard on me right now because being in the sun right now as I am, but also partly in the shade and all that sort of stuff, makes my eyes water. But all that being said, you can see just a little bit of it. And it gives you an idea, a feeling that I'm outside. It's true, that's where I am. You probably hear neighbor's dog is barking. I apologize for the audio disruption, but the important part of the catch light is if you're trying to create a look of being outside, but you're shooting in a studio, learn how some of this works. Color temperature is going to be, of the light, color temperature, that probably sounds really weird. Color temperature is the color of the light. Just how hot is it or how cold it is. That's why it's color temperature. It's because the way that it's communicated, the sunlight that you're seeing on me right now is very warm. It's a yellowish light. We commonly think of sunlight as kind of a yellowish or maybe even reddish in the mornings. It kind of has that color or that hue to it. Other times, the direct sun, like noon, during the day, the sun shining down without clouds around, that light looks very, very white. And the reason for that, well, okay, we'll save that for another video. Light color is really interesting. And that's one of the things I was talking about, how it's so interesting looking at the science behind how things happen and how we can capture that in images with photography. So all that being said, is the catch light is really intriguing. And if you can place that light just right so that your light is reflected in the eye of the person you're shooting, no, I apologize. Taking an image of that person. Scary wording there. If you can place that light in such a way that it reflects in the eye of the person that you're imaging, taking a photograph of, the way that it can be placed is you want it in such a part of their eye that it's reflecting into their eye, but not in their pupil. If you can, try and get it just a little bit outside. I mean, the point is, play with it. Figure out what looks best. And maybe that's your signature, is you place that catch light in a place where not many other people do, and it looks really great. That's part of developing your own style, is you do things that nobody else does, or very few people do. And so nobody else sees anybody else's working that technique except for you. And so it becomes your signature, that you have something that looks really good and it's unique only to you or to very few other people. So enjoy playing around with catch lights. It's kind of hard to do sometimes with such a bright light like the sun, but if you have other lights, or if you are even just around somewhere that is very well lit, sometimes parks are very well lit in some cities, or you just happen to see somebody's front porch light and how somebody is looking in a direction around that house, you see that catch light and you go, ooh, stop, wait a minute, let me get a picture of that. So play around with it, take notice of some of the little tiny details, because those are some of the things that make those photographs really turn out great. So thank you for joining. We will continue this series, and we will be discussing some of the other topics that we kind of rabbit trailed onto today. So thank you for showing up. Subscribe and like the videos, and please turn on the notification bell. Ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any other videos coming up. Thank you so much. Have a great one, and we will see you again tomorrow.